Next, asking entrepreneurs, when do you reach break even? The other thing that actually stuns me quite often is when you ask them, well, how do you see this thing harvesting? They go, oh, well, we'll make money and then we'll figure it out then. And as an investor, that is a humongous turnoff. The thing is, if you don't know how your company is going to harvest someday, then I, as an investor, why on earth would I be interested in giving you my money? Because you're not interested in getting my money out. Eventually, I need to have a return on that money. And so not only that, but your employees, they took a pay cut to come join you. And the reason why they took that pay cut is because they got a lottery ticket. And they're hoping their lottery ticket cashes in. And so they want to know when they can cash in. And so from the very beginning, you should at least have some idea, at least understand the options of how you want to harvest. But why would I give up on my company? Maybe I get bored or burned out. Maybe my company has financial issues, ones that I just don't want to deal with. A lot of people sacrifice a lot of family time. Maybe it's time not to do that anymore. There's also the desire for liquidity. And what that means is your value is on paper. What if you want it in cash? Maybe it's a time to go. There are other things you want to do in your life. Maybe this isn't it. Somebody like Steve Jobs, his entire life was Apple. It would continue to be Apple, even if he had lived longer. On the other hand, for other people that want to go on and do new things, look at Bill Gates. He was happy to leave Microsoft and work on his philanthropy and other projects. And the last consideration of why get out is maybe the phase that your company's going through, maybe you're not the right guy. And this is why Arthur Rock saw Intel as three pieces. You need your high energy startup guy, you need your stable guy to get you into solid manufacturing and productivity, and then you need your chainsaw guy to kick the company in the behind to get them moving. And so maybe you're not that person to take your company to the next level. So maybe it's time to step down and give somebody else a shot. The background that you need to consider when you're looking at harvesting is, how does your team feel? Where's everybody's head at? What's the long-term vision of the company? Is that long-term vision your vision? And what's the environment of the market? And the reason why the market is so important is, let's face it, if this was 2008 and we were in the big downturn, yeah, that's not the time you want to sell your company. On the other hand, right now, when things are so heated up and things are becoming inflated, yeah, maybe this is the time to sell. And so you have to think about, is there a trigger event that starts this whole process? In terms of harvesting, what are my options? Well, one is free cash flow. I'm making enough of a profit that I can put it back, some of it back into the business and still sock money away. So you keep it. Your company is a good cash cow. Maybe you want to buy out the other investors so you consolidate control over your company, whether it's leveraged or market or employee. Maybe I want to sell it. Maybe I'm done with it. I just want to get out of it altogether. Initial public offering, or IPO. There is one huge requirement at the very beginning which determines, should I go public? And that element is, are you a growth company? If you are not a growth company, you have no business being publicly traded. You're a growth company, and this is what people are betting on, that your company will grow, and so they can get a return on their investment. That's what being a publicly traded equity is about. An example of that is actually Dell. In the early going, when Dell was growing, great stock to own. On the other hand, when the PC market went flat and all, that was Michael Dell took the company private. They weren't a growth company anymore, but it was still a company that produced $1 billion cash. So he decided, we'll just be a cash cow. Do you want to pass the company down through your family? And there are actually negative harvesting events, things that you don't plan on. But if you have bankruptcy or something like that going on, well, that's a way of harvesting. And so to summarize up this lecture, we first talked about risk. And so it's about the impact and the frequency and how much damage you're going to cause. And we've learned about a number of different techniques, such as transferring the risk to another party as a way to get around it. Leadership, there is no ideal leader. And in terms of your team and everything else, if you can't do it alone, try to find the skills that can do it, because you want the best of every function. And finally, harvest. And there are many different reasons why you want to harvest. However, you have to determine what's right for you.